Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So yeah, we're fighting the Russians, who've been trying a very long time now to invade Belarus without getting anywhere. Let's see, Sunderland, Missouri, refit, New Jersey, repairing, Enterprise and Yorktown are good to go. You could probably need a little bit more cruiser support. San Diego class. Let's just send these also to Sunderland. Oh, these are the DDs are being refit. For how long? 1 month. Okay, I'm gonna do that next month then. So let's go to next month and see what happens. And the war continues, which is good. And that war continues also. Spanish Empire wants me to pay for an alliance. $9 billion. 9.2 to be exact. Maybe I want to do that. Spain is very weak. Not gonna be much of a fight anyway. They've got a pretty big navy, but yeah. Fine, let's do it. Let's actually get an ally. Alexander Nimitz is replaced by Alexander Panzerjansky. Alright. Japan also replaces an admiral. Submarine raiders. Not much I can do here other than click auto-resolve, and they sank 3 of my transports. Here we go. Submarine attack. Auto-resolve that one too. Sunk 3 submarines. Damage to 1 light cruiser. Not bad. How about this then? Damage to the enemy submarine. Let's sink some transports. Sank 1. Battleship Dreadnought, or the Dreadnought class. Now this Dreadnought has 10 12-inch guns, which I guess is actually accurate? No, that's not 10. That's 15. That's triple turrets. It's not quite. It's got a top speed of 20.6 knots, which is pretty close to the actual Dreadnought, but of course this is in 1949, so it better not be an actual copy of the actual Dreadnought, or it's gonna be horribly outdated. Fighting my battlecruisers armed with 16-inch guns. So, Dreadnought, what are you all about? Now this is a new class. I saw them popped up in the log not that long ago, that it was a new design. And it is, like the name would suggest, it is a modernized Dreadnought. The hull, the turret layout is actually decent. Only minor complaint would be the placement of these secondary guns. They're kind of blocking the arc of that one turret. But overall, yeah, this is not bad even. Of course, it's not identified, so I don't really know much about it. It's at 35 kilometers. Not gonna need my torpedo boats. Every now and then I get some comments asking what's with the torpedo boats this late in the campaign. Well, in Naval Arms Race, the torpedo boats never actually go out of style. They never become obsolete. And because you can put the same kind of anti-submarine weapons and mine-clearing equipment on them as on a DD, that is kind of their purpose. Basically just escorts, which is what the E in the class designation suggests. Okay, we're already doing huge damage to the enemy battleship. I was hoping this would be actually a very heavily armed ship, seeing as it's kind of slow. Let's get the thumbnail once we get some splashes in. Did we already knock out a turret? I guess that kind of works. Like so. So yeah, for the purposes of fleet escorts, the torpedo boats do pretty much just as good as a job as a DD at 1/10 the cost. So even my my latest torpedo boat class, only 19 million. My most modern DDs are like 200 million almost. I think the DD-46 class being even costlier than that. Are we gonna get this ship identified before it sinks? They've not done any damage to me yet. I'm firing HE. I want to fire AP. Yeah, my AP goes straight through, as evidenced by the flooding results. They actually scored a hit, 60 damage on the Lexington. I do not think we're gonna get this ship identified before it sinks. But before it sinks, let's at least check out its main gun range. That's gotta be it, right? 28 kilometers. But it doesn't tell me. There we go. 6.8 inch guns. Range 18 kilometers. Yeah, that's the 12-inch guns. It just doesn't give me the little tooltip. For some reason. There we go. Sank. Structural damage. I did another 71 damage to Lexington just before going down, which is basically nothing. Yeah, there's no way of knowing what kind of armor it really had. But the 16s went through, so it's not like insane armor. Let's see what more we have to do. A couple of convoy battles and some battles. Oh, there we go. Loading. 74%. This task force is ready to also go into the zone. Up my chances a little bit more. Let's put it here. No! It's still being refit, and these are in battle. Never mind. This task force cannot move out. Yeah, 1 month. Refit on the USS United States. That's okay. How's things going here? 30%. So we might actually get Laos from the Chinese by way of land invasion. And here, Southern England, 4%, 27%. Might actually get that one too. Let's do a convoy mission. DD-45s versus Marne class. I am 0.9 knots faster. 14 transports. That's quite the booty. Alright, let's see, no need for torpedoes, I think. Or is there need for torpedoes? Those are the enemy DDs. I think we're gonna launch when we get a little bit closer. It is evening. Which reduces view range, even with radar. Transports have been spotted. Let's actually get some torpedoes in the water here. I'm targeting this because it's sailing straight away and they're all turning to follow it. Torpedoes are in the water. And the guns are opening up. And it's just pure carnage. And the torpedoes are starting to strike home. Probably not really necessary wasting my torpedoes on transports when the guns are just picking them apart like this. Not that it really matters, but and one transport left. Yep. Now I am faster than the enemy DDs, but only by 0.9 knots. And yeah, that's gonna take forever. But we got the transport, the convoy. 14 transports. Very nice. Let's see, let's see. We got 2 more convoy battles actually. One here also, battlecruiser Hector, Lord Clyde class. That's the one with all the big guns. And a skirmisher class light cruiser, facing off against USS Fall River and Helena, San Diego class. Worcester class USS Augusta, a DD-45 and a torpedo boat. Now these 2 ships are only guarding 1 transport, so that's going to be a much more valuable transport than the 14s. The 14 transports we just slaughtered that were not even guarded by the 2 DDs. At least we can pretend that's the case. Alright, this could be tricky because we are quite outgunned by that battlecruiser. Might actually have to rely on torpedoes from the DD. Maybe from the torpedo boat as well. Now the San Diego class actually has decent experience sinking capital ships. Sunk some of those Chinese battleships in the past. There goes the torpedo boat. I was hoping it could get a little bit closer before getting whacked like that. Yeah, it's because of the weather. I cannot go at full speed. Send the DD to kill the transport. Unless the Augusta can do it. Actually, let's just get torpedoes in the water. Towards the battlecruiser, if possible. Oh, it's found the range. Where's my little DD? Luckily, it seems my heavy cruisers are actually penetrating the ship. And doing some damage. It's trying to run away. But if I remember correctly, these very big battlecruisers only have like 1.4 inches of deck armor, which I am capable of going through. Strong Sapphire AP. Okay, Augusta, you can just go home. There's no need for you here. Hector. Yeah, 1.4 main deck. which is thinner than the fore and aft decks. It's like opposite, all or nothing. But we're landing the hits now. There we go, getting some flooding. Which is great because then it has to slow down and it can no longer run away. It's now only doing 27.2 knots. Remember, this big boat is faster to begin with than my heavy cruisers. So it could outrun me if it hadn't taken damage. Yeah, now it's slowing down further. I'm also getting slowed down a little bit, but not that much. It's mainly the weather limiting the speed. Which is probably what cost me a torpedo boat. It just wasn't going fast enough to give the enemy that target fast speed modifier to accuracy, which I think kicks in at 37 knots, maybe 35. Helena taking some flooding. What are you about to do now? Whatever you're about to do, don't do it. Don't do it, Helena. Don't circle back. More flooding. $22 kilometers. Should be enough for some deck penetrations. And it is. Flashfire. Oh, again, just missed it. Just a little bit too late to hit that pause button. I didn't get to see like the big blue blowtorch. Yeah, you've got no main gun ammo now. It all blued up. So now it cannot run. cannot fight back. It is, for all intents and purposes, dead already. You know what? I'm just gonna end it here and force the British to repair this for... it's gotta be at least a year. Yeah, that's the plan. And when I do get that peace treaty, I can claim it as a as war operations. It would be a nice trophy in one of my museum ports. One more convoy battle here, and then we're gonna do the 2 actual battles. Cleveland class versus Oksu class light cruiser. What the heck is this? I haven't seen them before. They are very inexpensive, not that fast. So my Cleveland will easily catch up. And the DD-46 will definitely catch up. Let's see, light cruiser Savannah. Yeah, they're quite decent looking ships, I think. The Cleveland class. And next patch, they're bringing out some new American light cruiser hulls. So you can actually make the... I forget the name of the class. Not the Cleveland, but the... whatever the Admiral Belgrano was. Brooklyn class? I think it was the Brooklyn. So that's gonna be fun. However, that patch will probably kill this campaign, because most major patches do. So, whatever my next campaign is, will probably not be American. Let's see, what do we have here? As the 2 DDs. No, the 2 light cruisers, 1 DD. That's how it was. Let's aim torpedoes at the one in the middle. Before that, torpedo range 17 kilometers. 5-inch guns 18.4. That's almost the same range as my 7-inch guns. It's really not bad. Fish in the water. And damage to the DD. It is now retreating. Are those fishies gonna hit anything? No, I was close though. Still not identified those two. But they are sure putting out a lot of fire. It's very small caliber fire, comparatively. That's nothing to scoff at. Let's see, it's been identified. Alright. Yeah, that's a lot of guns. Probably do something different with the barbette here. Put that one on a barbette instead of this one. But other than that, general layout, pretty sensible. Armor, not terrible. 4.9 main belt, 1.6 main deck. Again, 4.5 decks are thicker than the main deck for some reason. But the 4.5 decks only cover like tiny parts of the ship, so that's okay. Gear turbines 2, oil 3, stereoscopic 5, radar 2, sonar 1, citadel 5, tourney case C armor. I mean, yeah, that's not bad. Capability 2, light shells. Yeah, that's why it has good range. High capacity HE. Torpedoes are 21 inch. Electrics, I think, minus 86 visibility. You have not launched. Not sure if that guy has launched. Now, electric torpedoes are very tricky to dodge. They are slow, but you don't see them until it's too late. Transport Chungus has sunk. Aksu has not launched her torpedoes. Aksu has already ran out of HE shells for her main guns, as has the other one. Aksu has surrendered. Now let's kill the Shoyang. Uh, 5-inch AP just does not have the pen to seriously threaten the Cleveland class. But my Cleveland is now out of AP. And yes, they do carry more ammo. No, they do not. Shell's ammo standard. Very well. Yeah, I think I just ran out of weight when building these. Yeah, the transports are all done. No, they're not. They got some left. Just sank some of them using my secondaries, while mainly focusing on the light cruisers. Now my 5-inch guns are joining in. See, I'm not the only one packing 5-inch guns. Just that mine are secondaries. Surrendered. Yeah, all the 2.5-inch guns are gone on the enemy light cruiser. Let's get the DD2. It ran out of torpedoes, which means it launched. So we're gonna change course. And the DD is dead. What the DD doing? The DD doing sinking. Was that last one? Yeah, it was. Alright. Yeah, the 4604 took engine damage early on, so just could not participate in the battle after that. But Savannah got it done. So that was the convoy battles. Now, it's a battle. New Haven class against Australia class. Did the Australias have armor? I don't remember. I don't think they do. I think that's one of the paper ships. All right, 1-on-1. Should be a fair fight. Beautiful sunset. These are not like the Cleveland class, in that they are not called Cleveland class, but they are closer to the actual real-life Clevelands, being armed with 6-inch guns, which sadly means they do not have quite the same pen at range as the other ones with the 7-inch guns. But it might be enough to take down an Australia class. AP. I'm just thinking it didn't have a lot of armor. Yeah, we're scoring floating hits. The AI in this game has a preference for firing HE, even when AP can actually pen. So just because your ship elects to fire HE does not mean AP is not an option. Sometimes the HE does better. Like for example, if the armor is just too thick or too angled. This one definitely is not. It's going straight through like a hot knife through butter. But if the armor is too thick or too angled, and your AP cannot pen, then yeah, firing AP will do. Firing HE will at least do something. Or if the armor is just very thin and you got high penetration HE, you may be able to score those penetrating hits with HE just as well as AP and just do way more damage. But yeah, in this case, I was pretty sure the HE on these 6-inch guns would not be able to cause penetrations on this heavy cruiser. Lightly armored as it was, just the guns are just not big enough. But the AP shells, I was pretty confident they would go through, because I seem to remember the Australia class not having that much armor. Here we go. Medium encounter. Yorktown of the Lexington class, escorted by USS Tulsa of the Baltimore class, a New Haven, a couple of torpedo boats facing off against the Russian heavy cruiser Vladimir Monomakh class, armed with 9 7-inch guns, a torpedo boat, and what's this? A Swedish ship, Dreadnoughts Apostolov class. That's the same class as we fought in the previous episode. Alright, and a couple of torpedo boats. So, big ship, very good resistance, decent armor, kinda lacking in firepower, at least for its size. But the battleship is not actually Russian, it's Swedish. It's Russian made, but I think that if I can just defeat the Russians in a couple more big battles, I might actually see the Swedish alliance breaking apart. And then it doesn't really matter if that battleship is sunk or afloat. But anyway, the Yorktown has opened up at long range with her AP. It's the only visible target. Why do you switch target? Just keep firing at it a little bit more. Tulsa can target the heavy cruiser. I want you to fire AP. Yeah, we got cap ballistic HE on a light cruiser. Which should be capable of easily slaughtering those torpedo boats. Oh, another close torpedo miss. Scoring flooding on the heavy cruiser and the battleship. let's see. Which of these... Did I sink the Russian one? That looks Russian. That's not Swedish, Estonian. So the Russians had one torpedo boat, which has to be this, and a heavy cruiser, which has to be that. Not a terrible design. And the Swedish had the battleship and I don't know, maybe the torpedo boat I sunk was also Swedish, or was that also Estonian? Like that one. Not sure. Torpedo hit on Yorktown because I wasn't paying attention. There you go, the heavy cruiser has been identified. It's got fairly long-range torpedoes, 7-inch guns. It's got some armor. It's not very heavy armor, but it's some armor. Semi-ballistic 8P high-capacity HE, radar 1, scout plane. Not all that impressive. That is indeed the Russian torpedo boat we're targeting, right? Yeah. And I think the Russian torpedo boat is about to die. Yep, it died. Let's get the Estonian one too for good measure. Just need a couple of good hits. Come on, Chester. You can do it. It's got the attention of the cruiser now. And the battleship, but I think the Chester is gonna sink. It did. Thought the enemy battleship would stay occupied with my battlecruiser. So they got the battleship left. Which again is Swedish. Actually no, they have that Estonian torpedo boat too. Chester wasn't quite able to get her. But again, seeing as this is not actually a Swedish-owned ship, retreating and leaving it alive is an option. Come on, just hit it. Need one good hit. Not on my ship. There we go, it's gonna flood now. Alright, just a battleship left, and again, do I really need to sink it? Not really. And I don't think it's worth the Yorktown taking a lot more damage fighting this, because I would like her to not be stuck in port for months on end. So we're just gonna do a controlled disengage of the fight. Should be able to. We're faster than the battleship, which is now barely managing 20 knots. Yeah, 15, almost 16 main belt, 6.3 main deck. That's really all you need to have decent protection. Sviatoy Yakov. The end battle thing popped up. We're at 31 kilometer range, so we're outranging their guns now. Just gonna take the opportunity to farm. Ah, it went invisible. Right, let's end it. Sad loss of the USS Chester. But we sunk some enemy ships and put the Sviatoy Yakov in port for, I would guess, at least half a year. Alright, and that was it for July of 1949. And I'm guessing that was it for this episode as well. Let's see, it was... yeah, still being refit. Yeah, it's a 1 month repair, 1 month repair. So, all these are going to be ready next month, unless they are also dragged into battle again. Excuse me. Politics. The Russian people is still very content. Yeah, they get a minus 50% unrest for having a left-wing party in government. They got a very big navy still. I've yet to encounter any of their battle cruisers. Alright. All right. So anywhere I want to invade, anything I want to take from the Russians. I mean, most of my Atlantic fleet is either being repaired or refitted, so it's not really ready for a big invasion yet. Now that's a battle. That's a potential battle. Cork. Pretty big naval force. There's a 2-month repair on Yorktown. These are the 14 armed battle cruisers. The big boys are in Sunderland, where Missouri is being refit for 10 months. New Jersey is being repaired for 5. Enterprise is good to go. Yorktown repaired for 2 months. And some other minor repairs as well. Do I have any ships ready to go? Oh, the East Coast? Just my museum fleet. So, what I need to do... I've got the Montana here, the USS America. I'm gonna move you into Boston. I don't want to click the fleet, not the port. That's been a refit. I can form another task force around it, I think. Yeah, like maybe with these ships. That would work. Yeah, we're doing that. And then I guess next episode it's probably time to build some more ships. Also expand my shipyard a little bit more. Because it's clear that my Atlantic fleet just needs more ships. I don't have enough operational when some of them are being refit, some of them are being repaired. And most of my navy in the Pacific are sitting in the invasion circle in China. So yeah, I think I do need more ships. But that's for next time. Goodbye, and take care.